It's Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We're in the multi-screen theater room, or the steampunk. This is gonna be, we're gonna call it the steampunk theater room. We'll think of a name for it. We haven't decided we're gonna call it the theater room yet, but it's gonna be steampunk related. But we're just basically getting stuff in here now to give it kind of a feel in here. All right, so we're going to discuss this whole cancellation thing. All right, and I want the two individuals who did the cancellations to understand, because I mean, we all know that first things first, they come into the channel with multiple accounts. Every time they're in my account, disguising themselves as everyday customers. No, buddy, we did the check on it. You're not everyday customers. Your payments are coming back to your accounts. We know where it's coming from. So we know you're making multiple accounts. We know you're faking like your other customers. We know who you are at the end of the day. Just like I said, we know. Anyway, so as I said before, if you're going to call yourself backing your product 100%, the last person you want to cancel an order with is the person you have competition with. You don't want to give them that kind of ammunition at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, we don't even consider you competition, because at the end of the day, like I said, I used to make your products. I used to make your products back in the day. So your stuff is old. As I explained to you, the whole theory of gray screens, and everybody knows this. In any form site, everybody knows that the gray screen now is considered to be an advanced version, or maybe a little bump of an version of a white screen, because where would you fit in at now? I mean, bottom line, like I said, 7 years back, a gray screen was top of the line. But now you got these gunmetal screens, black screens that are out on the market. Where would you even put a gray screen at? It can't produce, at one point it did have the ability to produce better color than a white screen, because that's what they were compared to. Gray screens 7 years back were compared to white screens. It gave better color, it gave better contrast, it had a little bit of ambient light projection to it. That's where it stood. Now you got screens out here that are super gunmetal, black screens. They overshadow a gray screen easily. So where does a gray screen fit in at? I'm gonna start a topic on that on AVS forums. Where do they fit in at? They don't fit anywhere. Look at the bright levels I'm picking up off my screen. Y'all can't see that. Y'all can't pick up red. We clearly showed that in demonstrations, even in the dark. You can't see red. You can't see contrast. You do not pick up. And next to a white sheet of paper, you are a little bit of an upgrade, as I said before. That's all the gray screen was. That's how I started in this business. I basically, like I said, I sold two of my major monitors for a PC that I built. And I bought a BenQ MS500. I hit a white wall with it. It was the most ugliest thing I ever saw, especially when you're coming off a monitor. And then someone was telling me about gray paints being better because they produce better contrast and colors. At that particular time, when I was doing that kind of product, you guys you naysayers didn't even know I even existed. You didn't even know I even made gray screen paint products. You didn't even know basically I was contracted at that particular time. So at the end of the day, when I explain to you that I know more about the stuff that you have on your wall than you do, trust me, I know how your stuff is made at the end of the day. I can make that stuff for far less, far cheaper, and much better. But that's neither here nor there. The thing about it is the fact that the gray screen is obsolete. When Black Diamond, those darker screens started coming out, that's what changed everything. That's what I saw in my little room when I was renting out, and that's what I saw. And this is why here I am today with black technology, with 3 projectors firing off in my environment. I can do this in a fully lit environment. I have my curtains open. Y'all can't do this. If I paint this on the wall, you would wash out in every single color that will pop up on the screen. And we showed that. I did 3 projectors. I put Crow's product on all 3 screens. He washed out on every last one of them. The only upgrade of a gray screen is the fact that it's a little bit of a hiccup over a white screen. And that's what happened when I got the BenQ MS500. I had a white wall. It was a disgusting image. I didn't like it. Someone was talking about this great product they had out there. They had a goose screen that had gray screen paint. It was too expensive. They had a company called Gray Wolf. I don't even know if they're in business anymore. They made these gray screens. It was kind of interesting. My buddy had one of them. But anyway, and then next up, you had the YouTube products, which everybody was making, this black and white mixture. Everybody was making it. So that was the upgrade, which was the gray. And then when that Black Diamond rolled through, everything changed. Everything was about Black Diamond. That's why. How do you think they got so popular so fast, so quick? They brought out a technology. Number one, could take out a gray screen easily. dominate white screens. It can do it in fully lit environments. It can pull contrast levels, it can pull colors. That's why they dominated the market when they came out. Genius. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't like them at the end of the day, but you got to respect the game. You got to respect the time and effort they put in. You got to respect the research they did. And I'm pretty sure they were sitting up there, wherever they're at, testing that screen against white screens and gray screens at the end of the day. I guarantee you. And to this day, there's no gray screen that will ever match a black diamond, except for us. We got black technology. We're a little different. We don't have gray. We have black. So that makes us a dominant screen. That's why we had that email sitting in my account by them contacting us interested in our products, because we had a physical black screen. They don't. That's the difference. So, you know, you guys have to understand your product doesn't have any worth. And I mean, I'll tell you, it had worth, yes, 7 years back, because it was better than a white screen. It was far better than a white screen. Trust me, it was. But now today, with this gunmetal technology and everything coming, these darker AR technology screens, you guys, that product is obsolete. It's done. And I'm going to show you today, we're going to make some darker gray mixes. Because they're going to say, well, we got darker mixes. No, they're trash. They're absolutely trash. And I'll tell you why. Because there's so much black paint mixed in the white paint that the black paint is going to overshadow. You still can't maintain white levels. You know, that's something you have to show off when you show a darker product. You have to be to show off. It has the ability to be able to blend or overpower screens that are lighter than it. Much like we do with these certified screens, white paper, white sheets, and then on top of that, then you have to reverse it, and you have to show that it doesn't match any form of darker products, which we do with the black fabrics, black paint, all that stuff on our website that you can see right there. You have to be to have that. You can't just talk it. You have to have physical video showing this actually happened, and it must be done live. No pre-records. You can't pre-record that. That has to be live. You know how hard that is? So that's what you're going to have. So you look at my website compared to their websites. We do a website comparison. Our website will crush your website. I have so much information on my site, on videos, test demonstrations on just about every level. You guys are nowhere in that facility of catching up with what we do. I got tests to do today. We got a new paint today that was designed, customized for the P2. Oh, yeah. You knew it was coming. You knew I was going to design something crazy for that projector. Oh, yeah, it's downstairs drying right now. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But getting back to these cancellations, you don't hurt me when you cancel. How are you hurting me at the end of the day? I can still get your product. How are you banding me? I can still get your product. I got people on standby with credit cards ready to buy your product. We just have to do it in a timely fashion, because you two are so freaking paranoid about the product landing here that you will basically skim over all your orders to make sure you can figure out who's who, or who you can recognize, or whatever gut feeling you may have. If you have to go through that at the end of the day when it comes to processing orders, it clearly shows your product is a lie and doesn't work. Why would anyone go through that? Just like I said when he said, I'm on vacation. Dude, you're the one who sent the invite for us to buy. So you disrupting your vacation time to monitor what we're doing on buying your product on an invite at times we can buy whatever we wanted doesn't even sound right. Why would you even care? You're on vacation. Precisely. You should not be having that conversation with me anytime, anywhere at all, period. I'm buying your product on something that you gave me permission to buy. That's what you don't understand. But then you want, like I said, the Karen card. We call that the Karen card. Now, again, you would sell this to your customers, and I'll tell you why. Because your customers are not going to do what we're going to do to your product. Your customers are not going to put it under rigor testing. It's not going to test all the stuff that you said on camera. They're not going to put your stuff through that. Unless you run into a customer like me, then that's going to be another nightmare for you. But other than that, they're not going to do that. They're going to believe whatever nonsense that you spewed out to them. That's what they're going to believe at the end of the day. Me, on the other hand, I'm a different person. I'm definitely going to test your product out on every level you could possibly think of. Because you made all these accusations, I'm going to see if you can back them up. So for me, yeah, you would cancel out for me in a hot second, but you would give that illusion as, no, you can buy from us, but you can't buy from us technically at the end of the day. Because you know darn well if your product got done here, we would definitely match it to any one of the household paints at Sherwin-Williams or any other paint supply store. If not, if that was not true and your product it did exactly what you said it did, then where's your backup demonstrations? You don't have any. Where's your product shown against paints? And I seen the one with the tablecloth. Everybody in the forum site laughed at that one. The first thing I kept saying is, why was this environment so dark? What was the deal with the red lights? Yeah, you can fail that completely. And you didn't even have the nerve to do it over again. You went in and kept it that way because you figured, hey, it's passable. I can get by with it. It's okay. That's your turn. We wiped out all of your Cinemax out of the house. We're going to rebuy it again and do the demonstration all over again to show you that your product acts that way. You're supposed to do this at the end of the day. But anyway, neither here nor there. But the one person you do not cancel against is the person that you have competition with. Again, at the end of the day, we don't consider you competition. Don't ever get that in your head. You're not considered competition. I can go outside and do 150-inch screen, give you a challenge, you wouldn't even be able to touch it. So you're not competition. But you consider us to be competition at the end of the day. The thing is, why would you give the competition that kind of ammunition to begin with? I can easily at any given time, anytime, if your customers even come to me and say, well, if somebody says, why would I do business with you? Because they can't back their products. Here's all their cancellations right here. We try to order their products to get it down for review, and they got scared and they canceled. There you go. What could you do about it? You don't have one cancellation. Even when Partay was walking around his backyard, grown man, we showed right there, grown man walking around his backyard making false accusations that he has cancellations. Where's the cancellations? We want to see them. We've been asking for that since last year. No paperwork, no documents, nothing at all, period. At all. All right then. Again, at the end of the day, people, you have to understand. If you're going to cancel, yeah, you're canceling a customer, whatever. But they're not going to cancel on the customer. They're only canceling us. And then they'll make it believe like, oh, they want our product so bad. They want our product so bad. I know what your product is, man. I was making your product. I was making your product before you even knew I even existed. I have more experience than you. I have more experience than Crow. That's why when I talk on camera, I sound professional. You sound, on the other hand, Partay sounds like he has no idea what he's talking about because we backed it up already with that whole, you can't paint a projection screen with multiple coats. Yeah, blah. Anyway, and Crow, on the other hand, definitely doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just saying stuff for the sake of just saying stuff. When he said that, oh, best screens to use in a home theater for dedicated would be silver and white, silver and gray. No, it ain't. I come in here, I talk, I back it up. Just like you're watching me have this conversation with you right now, and you're watching 3 projectors fire off on my screen at the same time in a fully lit environment while I'm having this conversation with you. So the last person you want to cancel against at the end of the day is a person who can hold this over top of your head at the end of the day. And that's what you did. If you could back your product up 100%, as you said, if it did everything you said it did, it has this polarization system, and if you add an extra coat, it gets brighter, and all the nonsense he said, and then with Crow saying that his screen paints can pull contrast levels equal to black screens, and all, you can do it in fully lit environments. Your environment under our book is not fully lit. I'll take you downstairs to a max house owner. I'll take you outside. I'll show you what fully lit really means at the end of the day. And if your product can match, I guarantee you black paint will beat your product. Easily. That's why I notice when you do demonstrations against that fake surface that's supposed to be ours, you always do it in the dark. Because even that fake surface at the end of the day will pull better contrast in your screen. And you'll keep it to those bright, bright colors and away from anything darker that will come up because you know it will overshadow your product. But as for your cancel orders at the end of the day, you will cancel against me, yes, because I'm the one that's going to test your products at the end of the day. That's why. You can't back your products. Your products are a lie. And for you to sit there and say that I'm banned after sending me an invite to buy. And Partay, I don't even know what the story with him is because Partay didn't even put in a you're banned. He just cancels on the door. That's the fastest. Even Crow, we fought a little bit with Crow when it came to cancellations because I had 2 times I've had to take him to PayPal, and I won quite a few disputes, all of them against Crow, and get my money back when he tried to sit on orders. But with Partay gave that money back very fast. So fast, one of the records we have with Partay on returning money back to us is, like I said, we got 3 orders made of this product, or his 2022 product, were all made on January the 4th. All 3 of them. We got the money back so fast, we were able to use the same $160 to make all 3 purchases. And the crazy thing about it, on the second purchase, he pulled this whole marketplace. Crow did the exact same thing. In the middle of a conversation back and forth on eBay on buying, he pulled this entire marketplace from eBay. So these are individuals at the end of the day, clearly their products are lies. Because they can't back their own stuff. That's why we display their cancellations. Usually if I display cancellations on them, I'll show it on the computer. But this time we did a detail. We laid it all on the table. Crows was only half. The Crow has 15 of them. And only half of his were there. That's not even the rest of them. But we showed you exactly at the end of the day, these are two individuals who cannot back their products no matter what. And I know for a fact that the, what do you call, we don't call them, we call them the naysayers. The naysayers, they pop into my room. And we know, Crow, you pop into our room from time to time. We know that already from the door. We've seen your multiple accounts pop in the room. We've seen Partay pop in here, trying to confuse people by saying, what's the meaning of this and what's the meaning of that? Everybody knows what the meaning is. The meaning is the fact that you can't back your product 100%. You can't back it. You say you cancel against us because at the end of the day, you don't deal with scammers. No, we got receipts from you, buddy. We got receipts from you basically of you shipping stuff and accepted our money at the end of the day. We were able to back that up on eBay transactions. You can't back your product. That's what it comes down to. Your product is a lie. And that's why you fight so hard to make sure that we don't get our hands on it due to the fact that you know you can't back it up. And if you could, you would have done any of the number of tests we gave you right from the door. And you can't. The sad thing about it is, and this is the sad thing for these individuals, now we have a mountain of cancellations on you and your products pretty soon. Because what are you going to do? You're going to basically scam over all your orders, figure out who's ordering this and who's ordering that. Now, I figured the only way Partay, I figure that Crow probably gets a little bit more orders than Partay. I do believe that. I do believe that from the door. But we'll find out. Like I said, at the end of the day, if my name pops up there, they cancel automatically from the door. Oh, you know what it's going at. But you can't figure out everybody at the end of the day. And that's how we're able to get your Cinemax down here. That's how we're able to get the, not Cinemax, we got the Personal Mix. And I got multiple unboxing videos on your Personal Mix, Metallica Mix, UV Mix. Yes, we can get your products at the end of the day. All we have to do is just basically make a phone call. We have to wait a while how we do this, get the order placed, get it down here, and that's it. So the sad thing about it is we have your products and we have your cancellations. That's what we have with Crow. Your Metallica Mix doesn't work. I don't care what you say about your whole Cinemax. Your Metallica Mix, UB Mix, and Personal Mix, what you charge people money for on your website and on your eBay account does not work. It matched a house paint at the end of the day. It's still matching tablecloths at the end of the day. It matched hobby paint at the end of the day. It matched multiple mixtures that we made at the end of the day. We even used your YouTube tutorial video with you on the video showing you making a black and white mixture, and it matched all of them at the end of the day. As a matter of fact, we were able to make all four of them, UV, Personal, and Metallica Mix, with $40 of house paint, black and white. From tablespoons, that's it. They're all listed all over. We posted it right onto the digital and crystal screen paint. And at the end of the day, like I said, if I place an order right now for y'all stuff, we automatically get cancellations. The cancellations don't hurt us at all at the end of the day. It just shows at the end of the day that you can't back your product. Now, let me show you people at the end of the day. They want to do reviews on everybody else's products. That's what they want to do. They want to do reviews from their expert opinion on everybody's products, but they don't want other people doing reviews on their products. That doesn't even sound right. That sounds shiesty from the door. But let me guarantee you, gentlemen, from the door, we will have your products here. They will be on the table and they will be tested. And when the P2 gets here, and we're setting up for the P2 in the back, I got a customized screen paint for that, actually blacker than the other black products. When we get the P2 down there, we'll see exactly displaying your demonstrations, your screen paint. See if your screen paint, your Cinemax, which we'll have done here, brand new, second review on a P2, to see if you actually were pulling these actual contrast levels next to a black screen. I'm willing to say even black paint would beat your product. Everyday black paint with nothing that would beat your product. We want to do all those tests. All those tests. Unless you're going to basically upgrade to another projector, which he's probably going to try to do. He's going to run, because usually most of them they do, they run. So he's going to probably try to get himself another projector to try to say, well, I don't have that model anymore, and this is so and so and so. Buddy, at the end of the day, it's not going to help you. Even if you go buy a Chrissy or whatever you may buy, it's not going to help you. It's going to show at the end of the day, all those demonstrations you did on that projector were all falsified. And this is a projector that's going to come in uncalibrated. Nothing's going to be changed in it. It's going to be the same way it comes out of the box. That's how we're going to display it. And we're going to show you in these videos with his same projector, how he's not pulling contrast levels. We're going to turn the lights out and show you how his image is going to pull up. We're going to mimic your exact same demonstrations with your exact same screen paint and your exact same projector. There you go. See? My mother used to always say, she had a saying, people heard it before, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. And we're going to show you, we're going to take a container of $24 house paint, and it's going to match your product on the same projector that you have. Even that tablecloth. Yeah, that whole fake thing you did with the tablecloth. Oh yeah, we're going to do all that all over again. All that all over again. As for you, Partay, or Danny Boy, how you call yourself, I don't believe in that whole multi-screen process nonsense. That is complete garbage. I can tell you from the door. And that's why you're terrified of having us buy your product. That's why you cancel it out so fast, because you know at the end of the day, the average customer is not going to take your product down there and break it down like we're going to break it down. But like I said, if you want my product, as you said, you'll get my product. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Crow, as for you, you claim you made our product. Still waiting. Post them. Post how you made our products so I can make them and put them against my screen, because I do need to add more videos to my website. I've been asking for that since last year. Nothing at all. All right then, gentlemen. I gave you, spoke what I had to speak. Now I got to go back to work because I have black technology I'm working on. Oh, look how beautiful that looks. By the way, that's 720p. That's 1080p. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? But anyway, I got to go downstairs. I got work to do. As for you two, you should have never canceled your order. Should never did that. That's the last thing you want to do, is cancel orders. To have somebody overtime. I said, at the end of the day, you can talk whatever you want to say about this, that, and the other. I got your canceled orders. I have proof that you two could not back your products, and at the end of the day, your products are a lie. You want to hear something funny? So anyway, last Sunday, Partay calls my house. Same nonsense. It's the same ongoing gibberish. Just him ranting on the phone about ranting dumb stuff. I actually got a system being put in that basically tells you that your phone call is being recorded for training purposes, which under law gives me the right to record your voice. Now, you can opt out of that if you want. You can say, okay, I don't want to be recorded, then we can't continue the conversation. But for security purposes, it's being installed in. And if you happen to run your mouth when that recording pops up, I'm going to display you on YouTube Live so everybody can hear how you act. It's bad enough. I mean, at the end of the day, I can do a video alone on how unprofessional you two are. I have messages of me talking back in Crow, and Crow using profanity and curse words and carrying on. I have emails from you calling me all kinds of nasty threats and curse words and stuff. At the end of the day, you do know that hurts you at the end of the day. It really does. But when you have time, you show me my cancellations. You show me threatening emails that I sent. Please do. I'm waiting. Have it by the day. Nothing, as usual. But as I said before, we're going to have your products down here for testing. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to either shut down your website, so that's what you're going to have to do to keep my people from ordering from you, because they're going to get your product and we're going to have them down here. Don't worry about that. We can get your stuff if we want it. It's interesting how I find this. We go back here. How when Partay was walking his back here, talking about how I canceled an order. And don't worry, Ken, I'm going to get it, and then we're going to have some fun. You remember that? Your own words? It's funny how now I have these cancellations on you, and you don't have any cancellations on me at the end of the day. And we're going to get your paint down here, and then we're going to have some fun. Isn't that interesting? Got to be real careful on how you run your mouth and how you talk trash at the end of the day. You have to be to back it up. Just like when you and Crow sat there on that camera talking about, oh, he does to talk trash behind camera. He's going to build a monument of this, blah, 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 blah. Y'all talked all that trash knowing that you two conspired to fake this email to make it look like I canceled an order, and he was walking around his backyard talking about I canceled and this, that, and the other. And you got on camera, Crow, and talked all that nonsense just to have me come in and show the original email showing that no, Partay sent that to us. And then order his product. And every time we ordered his product, what do? We played his video back of him saying that we canceled. For every single cancel, we played it back. Just to remind you, don't mess with us at the end of the day. You will get embarrassed at the end of the day. And then in the second, and I couldn't even, I tell you something, I couldn't make this up at all. In the middle of the second transaction, I sat there and said, Well, he's going to keep canceling because, yeah, every time you cancel, we play your video back. Just to remind you, don't do stuff like that. Don't go in your backyard running your mouth about cancellations and stuff when they're not true. I embarrass you. I embarrass Crow. I embarrass both of y'all. Out of both of y'all, it's being a bunch of fakes and phonies at the end of the day. Crow talking all this trash in his apartment made you look like a complete idiot, and I did. You couldn't even back up an email that you faked at the end of the day. That at the end of the day, you guys didn't realize at the bottom had his information posted that we backpasted, went right to his website, showing it came from him. So you embarrassed yourself, made yourself like an idiot on camera. Then you turn around talking about how I talk all this trash and can't back it up. I'm the one with all the cancellations. Where's your cancellations on me? Oh, you don't have any. Okay, I was thinking about that. Now, and then Partay talking about how I canceled and he has to go to another location to order. No, we're the ones going to another location to order because if we try to order from you, you cancel because you're afraid. So I have to have other people buy the product for me, another location. The very same thing you said we're doing now with your product when we get it down here because it doesn't work. Well, I'm telling you, you guys are funny at the end of the day. I guarantee you guys are the most hilarious. And the many years I've been in business, I have never met two characters such like you two at the end of the day. You two are hilarious. But I'll tell you about the whole Partay thing. So Partay calls me up last Sunday and he goes into these rants, same stuff. It's kind of like you listen to it, two kids in the back of a car argue over a freaking comic book. That's what it sounds like. And he's back there, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. And I ask him simple questions as he's ranting, like, oh, well, how come we can't seem to order your paint? How come you keep canceling orders? And he's just running his mouth. So I went out to my kitchen drawer. I pulled out one of his canceled orders. I took a picture. I sent it to him. I said, what's this? He got quiet and didn't say a word. Well, what's this? Isn't this a canceled order? You can't even back your own product at the end of the day. You want another picture? Click. I sent him 4 pictures of his items being he canceling orders. Y'all talk all this trash and this, that, and the other. You can talk about buying appearance. You can talk about this and the other. At the end of the day, you can't back your stuff. What's this? Why do we have a canceled order on you? And you hung the phone up. I ain't called back since. Well, he called back today. He called back yesterday. Ran about some dumb nonsense. But other than that, your product don't work. Now, the sad thing about it is we're going to have your product down here on the table. And we're going to test it through all the nonsense that you guys claimed it's supposed to be. Crows is going to be quite embarrassing because now you're going to be tested against the very same projector that you own. And I guarantee, I bet you he puts it up for sale. I bet you he tries to get another one. I guarantee before we get ours in here. Because at the end of the day, there's no way in the world he can withstand that kind of embarrassment at the end of the day. But it doesn't make a difference if you get a new one. Like I said, you still have the videos showing you owning this projector, and we're going to back it up to all the stuff that you did in those videos. Still proving you to be a fake. All right, I got this technology downstairs I got to test because, like I said, I want to put a darker screen in for the P2 when it gets here. Just explain to you why the whole cancellation thing we had. How beautiful that red is, gorgeous, and I love it when the red comes up on the screen. Just explain to you that at the end of the day, these are individuals that are going to try to make claim that, oh, he wants our product so bad. I can make your product at the end of the day. Crow, I can look at your product and I can basically go to Sherwin-Williams and make the same thing. There's nothing new about your products in the day. Your products are old. That's the end of it. It's old. What purpose does a gray screen have? Black screens are designed to pull heavy contrast levels. That's what they're designed for. Gunmetal screens are designed to pull heavy contrast screens. Your Frankenstein's not gunmetal. Your Frankenstein is actually gray. It's a dark gray. This would be in the terms of gunmetal. If you look at this screen, it looks black, doesn't it? The screen's not black. This screen technically is blue, but it's not black. Now, the one we have in the back, the darker one, that's a gunmetal. But when I pull down the other technology over top of a Phantom, now you see that it's actually gray, it's not black. Gunmetals are literally so dark that you mistaken them for black screens. That's the perfect gunmetal. The perfect gunmetal is to get it right on the edge of being black, but not being black. Your screen is literally too light to be a gunmetal. It's gray, charcoal gray. That's what it is. You need to know your colors. Because I guarantee you, when we get the Frankenstein down here, it's not going to match any of the gunmetals we have down here. Not one of them. It's going to come up charcoal gray. Because you can't make it too dark. Because if you make it too dark, it's going to suffer what the UV went through. I know the UV is much lighter now. Your UV mix that we had, the original over here, is so dark that it doesn't pull up on white levels. Even comes up dark on color. There's too much black paint at the end of the day. But we can make your products at the end of the day. It's no problem. We can match your stuff to Sherwin-Williams and whatever it paints. It's no problem. But at the end of the day, we can get your stuff. We're going to have your stuff down here. We're going to do the demonstrations, and then we'll go from there. All right. Well, because they're saying, oh, we're banned. We can't buy. We can't get. It's not hard to get your stuff, really, is it? It isn't. We just have to have somebody get it for us. And we just have to go through the whole cloak and dagger thing because you're so paranoid about your product. But I guarantee you, bar none, if you had my real Phantom, real technology in there, instead of that fake nonsense you have in there claiming to be ours, you wouldn't even take that stuff out of the container. That stuff would love everything you have in your apartment with no problem. That's why you won't buy the real stuff. That's why it's sitting at the bottom of my kitchen. It's been underneath my kitchen sink for at least about a month now. It's been there for a month. You're not getting that for free. You will pay for that. Yes, you will. So I don't want to hear excuses like, oh, but I'm supposed to get it for. What are you whining about it for? You make money, right? Then go buy it. Your business is doing well, go buy it then. What you complain about? I buy your stuff all the time. I've dropped somebody $85 into your account. It's not even funny. And you want to complain about that at the end of the day? No, go buy it. That's your excuse because you don't want the real product in your house because you know what that screen will do to your product if you open up that boxing. You can't toy with, you can't mess it. You ever notice that he never buys anything directly from our website? Did you ever notice that? He always gets it from a friend or somebody shipped it to him. It's always like that. Why is that? Why don't you go to buy it from our website right now? Come on. Go buy it from our website right now and take it to your house right now. Because I just noticed that. I said, wait a minute. Why is it every time that you get something, it's always coming from a friend? Like the tablecloth. Why in the world? We were laughing about that on the forum site. Why would you have to go to somebody to get the Amazon tablecloth when it's right there on the site? You can buy it on your cell phone. What complications would you have? You're in California, correct? What complications would you have of obtaining an Amazon tablecloth that you had to go to a customer to send it over to you? Do you even think when you talk sometimes? I hate to insult the individual, but really? So I noticed that anytime you do a review, you never buy directly from our site. You always get it from a friend of a friend or so and so. And that's why I think that those are fake unboxings. I do. I think those are products that you mix with black paint. Because at the end of the day, we can put black paint against our product and it does the exact same thing that it does in your videos. So here's your challenge today, Crow. How about you buy directly from my website? And I'll ship it right to your front door. Because we don't cancel over here. Only you guys do that. All right, people. Well, that being said, I got to get down here, get this done. Oh, look at that right there. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks on that technology. Anyway, I got to get back downstairs and get to work. But I just never thought about that for a minute. That's interesting. I just noticed that he's never purchased from our website. Never. We don't have one order form in the 7, 8, probably longer than that of Crow ever ordering from our website. Never. He always gets it from a friend. Unless you can't afford our products, that's what it must be. Maybe you can't afford what we have over here. Maybe it's just too much for you. Yeah, because if you had the real stuff over there, we already know what happened to your stuff at the end of the day. Yeah, go place an order today. Stop playing around. Anyway, I got to get back to work. I've actually literally bought more. Think about it. 15 times 85. Add that up. That's how much money we transferred to your PayPal account. Okay, people. I've got to go downstairs. I got to test this product out real quick. Ugh, I wish the sun was I can open my windows. Like that. That's a vintage reel-to-reel Sony right there. I think that's 1960, about 1960. Yeah, that's a classic. I'm looking for the reel-to right now. Let me show you how it's done. This is how we do it over here. 3 projectors all fired off at the same time, producing in a fully lit environment. And you guys are struggling to pull images up tucked under fireplaces and all that other nonsense. That's what you guys are struggling with. And I've seen the color, PARTAY, I've seen the color of your screen paint. Oh, we already know what that is from the door. I guarantee you, we got a match for it already. It's called software. Software. I forgot what it's called. I think it's 70, 75, I think it might be. Yeah, it'll match your product perfectly. Perfectly, no problem. I told you, back in the day, I used to paint. I used to be a painter. Back in the day. You do that enough times, you can just match stuff by looking at it. Because, before we had the whole ability to be able to take a product and get it analyzed and break it down, if you paint it, you had to do that basically by a gut feeling. To get a feel for it, mix different paints to get a feel for it, to get that close enough to that blend to match that product that customer wanted in this environment. But I can tell just by looking at your product I got 2 paints over here waiting to do a demonstration of your product. Like I said, if your product works at the end of the day, then it works. Hats off to you. Hey, I support you. Buy from them. But if it doesn't, and you can't back it up, and we know you can't back it up because of the cancellations, then you're just gonna have to figure a way to, what they call it, damage control. That's what you're gonna have to go through. You ever been through that before? You have to go through that. Now, what else? Okay. Well, ain't much I could do. You should have just, at the end of the day, what you should have did, you guys should have did, you should have processed the orders that the orders go through. If you weren't afraid and your products worked 100%, you should have let the orders go through at the end of the day. You canceling orders on us, it's not going to basically block us from getting your products. We can get your products at the end of the day. We just have to do it time-wise. Yes, we can get it. Be careful so you guys don't figure out what's what. It's a shame we got to go through that. It's a shame I even have to talk that way on getting your products when you guys are supposed to be professionals. This is your company. You want people to buy your products. Be it if people have to buy them for testing, they have to go through this whole cloak and dagger, Tom and Jerry fiasco to get your products down here. But we can get them down here. Don't ever believe that. Giving us bans and all that stuff doesn't mean jack. I got a ban from Crow when he was talking about on the eBay account when he said we couldn't get his personal mix. We have it right in the next room. Metallica mix, next room. UB mix, next room. So it's not hard to get your stuff at the end of the day. So the sad thing about it is, at least if your product got down here and say that at the end of the day, your product gets down there, doesn't do what it's supposed to do, what you should do is respectfully get online and explain to your customers, okay, we lied, we embellished a little bit on the truth. Our products don't do what they're supposed to do at the end of the day. I wouldn't even use that against you at the end of the day. At least you're basically manning up and telling the truth at the end of the day. I'll leave that be. At least you're doing what you're supposed to do. Average person, would grind you to the stone on it, but not me. I would basically let you take care of your damage control, and then you just explain to your customers next time around we'll make a better product and we'll be more truthful with it. Because at the end of the day, that's what cancel orders mean, guys. So you understand that. A cancel order means that you can't back your product. And Partay explained that crystal clear in his backyard, walking around, that he must be afraid of the product. Well, you just announced that you are afraid to have your product come down here because we have cancel orders on you. You can't back your products, gentlemen. So I would suggest you either make a whole new product line, or I don't know what you would do at the end of the day, but your stuff is coming, so you know. All right, people, got to go and got to get back to work.